Welcome. 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 Thank you for tuning in. I'm just going to go right in. That's just how it be with everything. It's the energy of the creations we are creating. What is this as she speaks? We're gonna go deep, right? So it's like the more you see, it's like, whoa, this reality of factualities, of humanisms that exist all around, and the cycles that are cyclical, that they just keep going about, and then you keep getting more into your evolution of the terminologies that we use and all these kind of things that we just overly abuse. Like, let's do it. Woke. It's become a cosmic joke in this reality form of a reborn, rebirth. Everybody got something best to superficially see. Still that stage of breed and the deliveries can be triggering to, it makes you understand the poets from once upon a time ago that would be like, humanity, soulless souls, like, so lost. Do they even see still the levelings of superficiality that exist beyond this abyss to see? And it could become a sad place for some that are just that leveling of multi-dimension beyond the scope of even where I can be. Because still we're stuck in this humanism viewpoint of breeds seeding this lack thereof of content that is disconnected from their own inner lands that they seek without constant in every different shape, form, molecule, understanding, programming, deprogramming, unconditioning, conditioning viewpoint that's conditioned onto them from the moment they exit the womb, no matter how revolutionary one desires or to see themselves as. We all come from these conditioned lands. So it is at what scope of lens do we really see? It's all this hypocrisy, right? So there's a lot of things that we're seeing even clearer now. Like, I was even talking to my dad the other day, and as I don't want to say familiar as the conversation sounded, because it was different this time around. You know, sometimes you have to listen beneath the listen. You have to really just listen. No need to speak, just listen. Isn't that what we all desire, to be heard? Be heard. So it's like you learn, right? You learn. You're like, I actually listen now to people instead of always needing to speak, although I should be speaking. Right? And so it's interesting. And he said something He said, the more sober I become, the more I see. That's the line I'm going to share, because he went deeper with care, and it was very insightful indeed to witness the breed of evolution happening right before my own eyes, with my own chats with my own father, who went deep, right? And it's interesting because he's a different generational seed of breed that operates quantumly differently and provided the next generational seed of seeds of breed that were going to be galactic indeed, that were going to be a part of a new revolutionary kind of evolutionary rhyme that took time to align. But, as with any kind of progress, there's a process, you know? And so, emotional. I feel these things. I do. I keep it cool though. Sometimes you get to witness cycles apart from it. And you understand that you get to be witness because you're part of the elixir, fixer, programmer, channeling these infusions of alchemy through this revolution that's part of our energy. But first, the motherfucking happens with our energy. And so therefore, these are the consciousness parts that activate depending on the leveling of participate. One participates on, I'm all in. So this functioning of this multidimensional reality never stops for me. I'm only beginning now to share it and articulate it freely without a care in the fucking world anymore. Whoever hears it, hears it. That's it, right? And so, cellF. When you get to see, right? Knows that. Tune in with me. See. In whatever degree you see, you see. No matter, this has nothing to do with the disciplinary factor of how well you navigate your sea and operate on these 3D. That takes time. I know it. We know what that means. If you put in the work, most people that encounter me want to do the work. What has been my discerning factor in life, my lessening plan, has been learning to no longer give so much to people that don't even want to fucking help themselves. But they feed off your energy that helps them when they know better. They should do better, but they don't. Right? So it's like, all right, so I won't waste my time. Right? Energy. Right? So it's discerning from your learning, and then also a whole other evolution taking place of a revelation, of an elevation, of observation that you are seeing about yourself in this process, progress, evolution. And it's taking on a whole other meaning. And it could be discouraging still, right? To see the cycles around you, still not get it. And it's just like, Houston, I think we have a problem. But then you remember the process of the progress, and you see the pieces that have been already highlighted to you that you know be true about how everything you do matters in some kind of multifaceted, multidimensional, galactic way, no matter your attention to that detail. And some are more aware of that activation than others. And some are just as aware as the other, and just some are more morally responsible than others in how they go about in handling such privileged sight, you can say, because why the fuck else would you ever have the opportunity to see such a thing, but then to be whatever creative that you are, to create whatever new from that you will bring to the table, as opposed to those that are just cycling the energy that is dominating the atmosphere, and they just reacted to that and live off of that and operate off of that, and instead of activating their own creative potentials and possibilities, infinite possibilities, of opportunities, because they're stuck in a cycle of something that they can't get past that prevents them from growing outside of their currency, right? That's a whole other subject, you know what I mean? So unlocking the magic within, choosing your own path, unlocking that which has always been you. And part of that evolution too is the acknowledgement of yourself this time around. I acknowledge me, mofo. I don't need you to do that for me no more. Thank you. Thank you for being a douche about it. I'm so grateful for waking up to this reality of jokester reality of what I have allowed up into this motherfucking point in my life where I've always seen for exactly what it was, who you were and what you were. And yeah, I just, for whatever reason, right, we dealt with that along the way. Everybody's going to be different in their reasonings of seasonings of certain kind of allowances in your life that are going to be different for each of us. You know what I'm saying? Our tolerance levels for different things and our reactives to different things based on the conditioning that we were brought into. And it's not no longer an excuse. I'm just saying it is part of this building habitat, right? A community, of society of people raising fucking children together, believe it or not. No matter how every family thinks that in a society they're individuals to themselves, they're still off of a societal dominating energy that dictates and rules the atmosphere, which makes it all similarities. You know what I'm saying? In some kind of way, but that's as simplified as I can explain at this moment in time. Right? Trusting your instincts, right? Trusting in yourself, no longer second guessing certain things anymore. Like, I'm not second guessing. I felt it. I may not see the whole picture, but I hear, I receive, And now, listen, right? Ignite your passions, move in a new direction, right? Igniting your passions, moving in a new direction. And see, that can be like this new cycle that wants to spin, right? But you're still filtering out older realities that still linger. You know what I'm saying? And then we have a lot of, isn't it like Venus, right? I said Venus retrograde energies. To not that any of that matters. You know what I'm saying? These are just evolutionary patterns, behaviors, psychological patterns, behaviors, societal conditions and patterns of behaviors. And just learning to, when you are conscious, right? To really understand that when you're living consciously, it's activating the energy of um of being present, right? Being present in your now moments, right? Aware of your now moments, right? And conscious to the now time, right? And that's a huge, present, powerful place to be when you activate that now seed, because you're not operating your now from this futuristic space that, depending on who you are, what leveling of evolution you're in, and what kind of spins you've been giving to your ultimate now reality, it'll all be determined what kind of futuristic hype you're building for yourself. It could be toxic or it could be wonderful, but depending on where you are, it's going to be different for everybody. But, consciously so. But either way, being in the state of now. If you still mad tomorrow about a yesterday, you ain't living in your now. If you still stuck on a past and a now, what you think you're creating for your tomorrow? And so being present is is part of being conscious, right? Being activated and being present here, and being accountable here, and being responsible here, and being deliberate here, and focused, man. Not hocus pocus shit. I'm here in this now reality, checking each of my multidimensionalities and making sure I'm fucking right with myself. And this time, being real about your self-care, not that imitation self-care that you were accepting from everybody else. Like that authentic shit is like, nah, come first this time, I'm sorry. I ain't good, so I can't help you. Or, and it's not even about being harsh like that. It's just like, maneuvering in a way that people maneuvered around you the whole time, trying to fool and pretend and like big jacks or keep you around, right? I used to get these like possessive people in my life. They used to make me feel some type of way, right? Like and always wanting my time. Like my ex-best friend, she used to always say, if I don't call you, you won't call me. And that would be like subject for slight debate, but like we'll get over it really fast because, like she even has Sagittarius energy in her and stuff like that too. So we blow over, but still she has strong Scorpio tendencies and fucking Aries too. Like, and so like there's like this possession, you know what I'm saying? Obsession, possession, friendships, right? Past lovers gotta get restraining orders. Because I was really selective. You don't want to go. You gotta go. Okay. fuckers, for real. People always tell me they think I'm their twin flame. Okay. They're freaking, yeah. I'm not like, laughing at people, and I'm not being insensitive, and I'm always in somebody's dream, right? Guiding them in some kind of sometimes perverse ways too. I'm freaky. But anyways, life is funny, right? Right, I feel the hovering. Yeah. You get to see what you see, whatever that is. Because you are the solution. Take with that as you want to take with that. But don't beat yourself up about it. Don't be upset either. And don't want to go into attack mode either. But okay, here, be open to healing information, okay? Medicine guardian, move in a new direction, right? So that's what's happening. So moving in a new direction with a whole new mindset about how you're going to be handling people, places, things, memories, times, changing patterns, right? Activating that. I get those 50-50 crews. Some of yous do, some of yous have to, some of yous half step, but there ain't no half step in an evolution. But either way, no matter what it is, you gotta be on your constitution. So when you're working on getting rid of all that pollution, you're always on your state of evolutionary, revolutionary journey. And I commend everyone that's on their evolutionary, revolutionary journey. There's different levels, different doubles, different, places we're each on, and some people are on it longer, some people, whatever the case may be, it's not here to compare and contrast, you know what I mean? So it's just a leveling of awareness in yourself that is putting you in the state of empowerment to power yourself and know what you're going to allow within your own energy field. Understanding why certain things are still showing itself. It has nothing to do with you got anything to do with that. And it's also not to allow yourself to be taken advantage of anymore. Like people thinking that they could filter their energies out onto you because they've mastered that manipulation of energy too, and they think they could be with their little swag and be like, oh yeah, I'll be here with that. Let me feed her that. Ego be whack. Right? So you just let people think what they want to think. You see the cycles and let it be what it is. There's no time for elementary school shit. That is elementary. Right? So knowing your power, harness mystic power, the high priestess. What? Embracing the energy of peace, right? Kumbaya, motherfuckers. grow within your current situations, right? Growing within your current situations, and you just learn from your spiritual experiences. Fuck that, right? So it's like, yeah, grow within your current situations. Learning from your spiritual experience. I'm really cool right now. I'm just making sure that I'm getting really cold because I know I'm gonna start channeling soon, and I'm about to get off and take that in for myself. But I'm getting really cold right now. But anyways, surround yourself with protective energy, right? Yeah, I'm being mindful, I'm being conscious, and being aware, and being clear, right? Clear about, and that's too another part of a realization too. Seeing that some people can't, it's not personal, right? Like some people truly can't bullshit their existence around you, so they dismiss you, right? Ahead of time because they don't want to be seen or called out, or they don't want to see that mirror, and they have every right. They have every right. Let them go, because you don't got no time to be wasting in that chaser kind of dynamic energy when you're more effective when you stay your kumbaya, peaceful self, working with energies that are cooperative. And if you're reluctant to do that, then you need to check your field and realize that you're not working in alignment with cooperative energies. You're resisting it. Address that if you want to. There's been a lot of people that come to me for readings and that kind of like coaching, guidance and stuff, and some are not ready. And so they'll go to another reader who will give them all the gossip stuff, to the aspects of the shit that they don't want to, grow past, work through, get to the root of. They rather be entertained with the gossip aspects of it all than get to the root of your own pollution. Let's heal that, fix that, right? So I've had that, but the consistency with my readings and all this kind of stuff and worldwide opportunities that I receive, to each their own. I'm here to help those that want to help themselves and help them see. There's people I refund immediately once I see the command, the demand of the type of energy that they're giving and asking me for a reading. I also get people that want to try to like give me a bad review type energy before, like I won't pick that up either. I refund right away. I'm like, listen, I don't need your money, right? And about that, why we do what we do, what we do, when we do what we do in alignment with what we do. And there's always going to be a readings. And I take breaks from those things too. When I don't want to, I don't do reading. So when I do, best believe those that receive are blessed. Right? So hold the space. You hold the space for transmutation, for transformation, for evolution. And that's a powerful space to be in, right? Transforming and unveiling your gifts unto yourself, holding that space for yourself, and being able to invoke the strength, the empowerment, the skill, the activations, the evolutions into this now space of time that allows you to solidify it into this etheric, multidimensional sphere of existence that has you operating in this 3D plane of existence, but now with a wholeness value to your own evolution that's cosmic in every kind of way. Like, you know, there's gonna be people like that. Like, for instance, I click on some shit and they're like, what the fudge is she talking about? That's not who's here that I'm talking to. You know what I'm saying? Like, great teacher, learn from spiritual experiences, shapeshift, transform, and reveal your gifts. Right? So, and that's fine. Then there will be people that would challenge that. Like, what the fuck? Like, the person that challenged one of my shorts with candle burning. Like, they took an assumption and made an assumption and challenged me on their assumption based off of the knowledge that they have of, like, how can lighting a candle change, you know, be scientifically proven, like some shit like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to challenge the kind of landscaping of personal belief systems and rights, right? And whatever, right? Just knowing that like, here we are in a different precipice of reality because you have shifted. This is what evolution of of dimensionality in your consciousness is, right? Even though you still operate on the 3D, where we operate and live in a multi-dimensional reality system. It's just like our cellular reality system. Like, you, like someone that doesn't believe in spirituality, and let's say they believe in science and those kind of, you know, dynamics to life, because, you know, whatever, it's tangible reality. So things that can be proven mathematically, you know, whatever, process and all this kind of shit, right? And they will not argue cellular reality. We are made up of atoms, molecules, and cells, right? That although they can't see that, they understand this concept of that reality, which is a multi-dimensional reality, right? So even though if you're not going to look at life in a multi-dimensional reality belief system, like spirituality and all this kind of, when you think of it in a very, like, flat plane existence, right? But cannot argue cellular reality, um, like reality, right? They can't deny the cells, molecules, and atoms and all this kind of stuff, right? But they'll argue, let's say, spirituality, right? Because that's something, yeah, you know, fluff and all this kind of stuff, or whatever the case may be. Where am I going with all of this? I'm gonna get there. Right? I don't even know anymore. I started thinking too much. But please go ahead and commit it. Right. So what was I saying? The whole purpose, the whole point, it doesn't fucking matter, is that there's gonna be differing levels of evolution experience between each and every one of us, right? And for whatever reason, I sometimes get these 50-50 um, groupings of people curious to certain kind of things that I say or speak or do or whatever the case may be. And we're always going to be met with some leveling of resistance in some kind of way, whether it be externally or internally, you know, whatever the case may be, because the polarities, the laws of polarities work in this dynamic too. But like the leveling of evolution where you are on now too, with applied science, as to, and what I mean by applied science, it's like you put in the work. Like somebody coming in here, you know, challenging me on what I speak about, or just got nothing, you know, evolutionary to contribute, which they do in their resistance part too, because it puts in the opportunity for me to skillfully handle without being so reactive and external reality trying to come in and infiltrate, and it kind of like finer tunes my leveling of consciousness at this time. So thank you for that opportunity for me to finer tune my execution of evolution here, where you will not infiltrate here. You know what I'm saying? I'm just speaking clear. And so, to get to that leveling of space comes from experience. So all experiences have to exist simultaneously in some kind of like, way. So it's kind of like these laws of of universal laws that we are understanding from a principality or a uh, uh, even a philosophical standpoint, or or scientific reality, like a quantum physics reality in certain kind of degrees, of just even understanding the significance of science, period, which is evolution in itself, right? Because science um, is infinite opportunity to discover new realities of truths in multidimensional spaces of existence that exist here on this multidimensional reality, no matter how you want to put it. Right. So, right, and it's just, um, a very enlightening place to be in, right? It's always an enlightening place, right? Because you're always evolving. That's the scope of evolution that you are on too. Right? You're always evolving into something anew, right? I am always transformed too in the lessons of life that I, go in for in my theatrical life, right? But stay rooted and grounded, moving in new directions, right? So you're the fixer, the elixir, the manifester, we can call it that. That's the reality that is soaking in now, the manifesting part, right? But you've always been the elixir, you've always been the solution, you've always been the fixer. That is the manifestation part. So it's like also connecting that infusion of accepting that leveling of power that you've always been in everyone's life, right? And it's just solidifying that further into this scope of lens of perception of reality that is dynamic for you at this time, because it's going to quantumly infuse in such a way that you are grasping it mentally, emotionally, physically, and applying it practically in your everyday consciousness, right? To realize these certain levelings that growing within your current situation as you move into this new direction, right? Getting into the space, taking note of everything that is happening on a whole conscious and intuitive level within you, and processing that too in increments. In increments. Okay, it's in increments. You're seeing the cycles around you too, and how, like, wow, like, enjoy growth and reap the rewards from it, right? Enjoy the growth and reap the rewards from it. You're seeing some people, like, you're like, why are, like, there's no comparing and contrasting. Take care of your needs, okay? Yeah, just that's it. Like, even I, right? I could see, and still, even though I see and then know, I feel, I still, with as much fucked up shit people have sent my fucking way, and I have never repaid them that kind, right? Their kind. I would still have always, with compassion, understood that they're, like I said, for treason. And it was with a heart of compassion that I would paint the fantasy into morbid, distorted reality that was not true. And I fell for that imagery that was so potent and powerful because I created. Instead of accepting what I was being shown right now. Hold on, I gotta help my cat with that. So let's say, it makes sense. I'm just even understanding something deeper in my own experience right now. And I was just like, whoa, epiphany here, right? Right. Makes perfect sense. But like, so you learn from this. So now in your now state of reality, it's like a test, right? It's like seeing it again in a different kind of shedding of light. Not to victimize you. No, I'm not in that energy. Right? But if it plagues with your mind, then that's just something more being extracted from within you to heal, right? To get to the root of. And that's good. When you get to the root of that, you can't unsee what you see. You know what I mean? That's what healing feels like. Genuine healing. But the fake healing, in terms of when it comes to having to forgive. Right? Fall under the category of like forgiving for all the wrong reasons or something, you know, some shit like that. Yeah, anyways. Oh, I'm really hungry. A exchange energy to create abundance, right? So you're finding the worth in your own value meal at this time, in terms of what you're going to allow to influence even with your energy field, period. And it's going to be like an interesting time because taking care of your needs essentially, because it might bring back a lot of energy within you and also outside of you. And for everybody, that's going to be different. Listen, be the light. Track down your fears and your desires. Hunter, right? Be the light. I've been getting more braver with my shares. I've come a long way. I'm always reserved. Well, that's my disposition to most of the environment. And my breaking of that shell as an adult, conscious am I now? Just celebrating a 40th birthday. I don't know why it's so important to share that, because that's even something else I wouldn't share my age. And it's not even like for the typical superficial reasons. It's just I reduce everything down to a single digit, and I still do, and I'm still going to say that, and I still do say that I'm 4 this year. 4. 4 with a little bit more. And I've come a long way myself, you know, and just breaking my own reservations for all the wrong reasons, and just surrendering to me. A lot of you beautiful souls are doing the same in your own way. That's dope. That's dope. I've gone through so many different phases and stages of self-acceptance and self-loving things, you know, to activate within me, and learning to love me naturally the way that I am in all my shapes, sizes, and forms and transformations, accepting myself in whole, with makeup, without makeup, as I am, flawed, scarred, and tattooed. I'm 4 years old. What do you expect from me? Anyways, I'm devoted and committed to this drive that exists within I, that is activated through I. And it feels good. And I encourage others to do the same. I'm a rebel in that kind of way. I love to entertain for your entertain. I'm amused in that kind of way. Amusement every single day. There is no telling what I will wake up and say. Nor do, or be, or share. You see, whatever. I'm free. I come up with different things, and then I do, and then I don't. Right now, I posted something on my Instagram. You can follow me on Instagram too, at Enchantress. I'm always posting over there. ENCHANTRESS. That's me. And also on TikTok, Witchy Utopian. Okay, that is I as well. And yeah, so I am always active over there. So I posted on my Instagram, inviting those that are interested in a private meetup for free, and listening up with like musical therapy and just lots of tips and tricks in healthy, wealthy, stealthy development, mind, body, heart, and soul. Like, even though I dance all the time and stuff like that, I'm not a professional dancer, clearly. Even though I sing all the time, I'm not a professional singer, clearly. Although I speak in in stance and form within poetry and rhyme. Yeah, I'm an artist all the time, led by the divine, right? And activated in that kind of way. But I encourage everyone to be the same kind of way in their own way. I'm not saying my kind of way, but when it comes to bodywork and intuitive healing, I'm an expert. And so this is where it will be beneficial for those that, everybody's always wanting to know how I am the way that I am. Everybody's always curious. Whether they say it or not, or whatever the case may be, we can be curious. You know what I mean? Especially when they really learn the authenticity of like how I am the way that I am. In front of the camera, behind the camera, whether there's a person here or not. Everything for me is dependent on my schmood. And that's some real deal, Holyfield. Okay, reality for real. It's my schmood. And that's how it be. And there's no faking those kind of realities. Like, that's just how it be for me. And it's like that. And once people get it, they are annoyed by it because go fuck off, okay? And it's like, can dig it, they can dig it, And when some that are curious and do ask, they ask. It's just been a question all my life. Even when I was going through the morning, mind you, I thought I was like a black hole in myself. Like after my mom passed away, 9 to like 12 years old, 13 years old, I was black inside. But even then, during those times that I was my blackest inside, people came to me. They needed me. They thanked me. They whatever got insight channelings from me. Blah 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 blah. So I'm inspiration, not knowing. And when they would learn that my mother just died, they're like, "Oh my gosh!" And then like whatever the case may be. Anyways, that was not about that. But either way, it's to bring it up too, not to brag, and it's not to be egoic or any kind of way, like fuck out of here. Like how many times people have made me already feel like I shouldn't have to express myself and what I do and how I am and what I'm is because it bothers them. Like, are you kidding me? Like, hop off your own insecurities, okay? That's what it's really been, right? Let's be real about a lot of the suppression, oppression many of you have experienced in your life has been through the abuse within your surroundings that has suppressed, oppressed you, or made you feel or gaslighted you, or made you feel any kind of less of deserving than you are. And I have actually been meeting some people that have a better upbringing and not necessarily, like that, but less spiritual they are, or now more inclined to be, and it's at a later life part of their life, you see. And then are the ones that are deep in spirituality and all those kind of things that stem from like a childhood and all that kind of stuff, but the childhood was like worse than a Freddy freaking movie. Like, a Nightmare on Elm Street, like type of reality that causes them to have to shift out of that conditioning on top of conscious spirituality. Like, I'm not comparing and contrasting and all this kind of stuff, but none of it is easy for any of the walks of life that are evolving, in their own evolution. But either way, like, there's nothing for me to dumb down. If you don't like what you're hearing, you can hop the fuck off, right? Like that kind of stuff. If it bothers you what I say that I can do or not do or this and that, and look at you, what the hell you here? It's because you love me, my dear. Right? You're curious. You hear? Yeah, you're intrigued. Okay. All right. So that's all you have to say. Right? So but it'd be like that trader like energy, right? A lot of people want to take from your energy for their own abundance, but never properly thank you for being that energy of inspiration, music, energy to them in their own life, because they rather keep their pride, because their pride keeps them from saying something to you and then project onto you and be like, oh, they don't want to feed your ego, they don't want to inflate that kind of stuff, or make you like downplay your energy field, like about their perceptions of your reality. Meanwhile, it's not even like that. It'd be nice for a thank you. You ain't gonna go fucking inflate my ego and check. What do you mean by that? Right? Or they think people say, or because you appear a certain type of way or whatever. Kindness is kindness, and everyone deserves kindness. Especially those that are so kind. But I've watched so kind people become so bitter too, and then they be kind, but for all the wrong reasons now. What started out as genuinely kind turned into a bitter seed of kind, and now they're so overly extendedly still so kind, and they don't receive it back in the way that they give it. Misery. So ungrateful too. But I'm not here to judge anybody. It's just an observation. I get a lot of judgments. I've been judged a lot my whole life. Yeah, everybody fucking comes to me. We'll talk about that though. So you're setting your sights higher, because you are higher in your evolution of consciousness. It's not thinking you're better than anybody. Nobody said that. But you're higher in evolution. And that's just the way it is. And it can appear like, I battle out shit. I battle out speaking about lonely, because I had to really evolve from that. I was sounding insensitive with lonely, because since I was little, I used to say, I don't understand people that say they're lonely or that they're bored. I never understood boredom. I'm like, how the fuck can anybody be bored? There's always something to do. See, hear, witness, observe, learn, grow, evolve, paint, create, sing, do, act. Like, I just, and I come from lack, poverty, didn't have much toys. So I am bibliophile. What is it? Bibliophilia? You don't say it out. We have a bibliophile. Whatever, listen. Poor. No book. But still, you don't need a book to learn. Right? What was I saying? Oh yeah, but I'm an enchantress. Let's go back eventually. ENCHANTRESS. I posted something about an invite to have a private meetup, pre-screening, of course, just due to many obvious reasons that we don't need to get into here. But there is a pre-screening, and what I mean by pre-screening is I'm gonna make sure you're a real motherfucker, because you're not gonna be joining my private event that's free and I get deed and see and be some freaking troll up in here. So that's what I mean by pre-screening. So if you are interested in joining, you are more than free to join. You just gotta be a real motherfucking person with no hidden motherfucking agenda. Okay. Eagles. see from a higher perspective. You see what I'm saying? Embrace the energy of peace. Hey, so that's what I mean by pre-screening. Not that there's like all these things and all this kind, but nah, you want to be a real person, okay? Okay, to be able to join the live thingy whenever that is, private location. Right, holding space. I'll be holding space in a private location online, and the only way you would come is if you're real. Anyway, what was I saying? So it would be very highly beneficial because that was the whole show. People have asked me my whole life. They want to know. So I am sharing some things that I do on my own, regardless if anybody joins or not. I'm gonna be doing these things. This is a lifestyle. Okay. So in this, it's probably 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour tops, if anything. We're musical therapy, and that's gonna be broad, dancing, stretching, music, sound healing, whatever the case may be. We've also guided like addressing certain things depending on who's there and what you guys, if you are there, then I hear you. This is an opportunity, this is a place that we can utilize. So let me know, what you would want guidance on, or whatever the case, or to be brought up to be further discussed amongst many, or not. Maybe it's just me and you. You know what I'm saying? Either way, this is a lifestyle practice. I am a lifestyle transcendentalist. And what I mean by that is that I don't know life without spiritual activity nor spiritual practice. For real. I don't, there's never been a point in my life that I have been without some level of spirituality. Now, granted, it has evolved, it has changed, it has shifted, it has transformed itself, it has developed, it has evolved, it is not the same ever at any given point. But I don't, so that's what I mean by lifetime transcendentalist, and using divination tools and all that. I don't need them. I don't need them. I like them. I use them. I utilize them. Right? Okay. I don't need them. That's also another difference with me with others. Like, I'm not comparing and contrasting, but I'm just sharing. I don't need anything to channel or read. I use it because I like it. And I've been doing it for over 35 years. Real talk. With a whole entire family that would actually vouch for that. They're like, since she was like 4 or 5 years old, she's been reading cards, like telling her her dreams and saying stuff that I learned from young that I shouldn't be saying because I was saying people's business because I just thought it was conversation, but it wasn't, things like that. Whatever. Anyways, it's just funny. You learn how to filter and shift and stuff. So yeah, so when I say that, and so when I say expert body worker and stretch specialist and physical therapy kind of, an Asian bodywork practice and stuff, I'm an expert in the field of bodywork and stretch and Reiki, and I am an intuitive body healer. I don't need you to tell me anything. I know exactly where to go. My hands have been called gods. It is what it is. It's always been that way. Even before I studied massage therapy, occupational therapy, and the New York College of Health Professions. I was already doing body work for free. I'm just saying, but amongst family and friends and people that just realize that, oh my God, when I touch them, it feels good. So it's just very interesting, the path, because it wasn't even one that was obvious to me to utilize and use. I studied everything else but body work and stuff. It wasn't until many years later, my 20s, I don't know, I have no concept of time. But it was after many years in the fashion industry, after that. My daughter was a little bit older, before I got into the activated side of my life that has always been, because of how I was raised too, heavy into martial arts and reading and Asian and traditional Chinese medicine. For whatever reason, I've always had an extreme fascination with TCM and Asian practices and modalities of breathing exercises and stuff like that. So, and my dad was heavy into martial arts when I was young, and this is where we had in common. I was a martial art fanatic and was fascinated with movement, with body movement, and hurting people, like not hurting people, but like pressure points and just different kinds of body manipulations and activations and stuff like that, and breathing. And I, for whatever reason, was born wanting to master meditating. I was like, I remember I was like 3 years old, okay, and having this whole conversation with another child in preschool, and saying that when we were gonna go to nap time, that I was going to count down. And I know that I didn't say this in so many words, but I wish someone had a video so I can hear what language I was using, really, because I remember articulating and saying count down so that I could meditate. I don't know. So it's just interesting, the growth of connecting, right, away from foreign information. So yeah, take note of intuitive messages, right? So yeah, start writing a lot of more stuff down for yourself, even if it's just on regular loose leaf paper. Every thought that comes to mind, just writing it down. It's not like a journal either, but just getting into note taking. I don't know, that just came out of nowhere. People want to pay me for my notes. I have been very negligent as of late, where I have not been my masterful note taker self. There's no excuse. But yeah. Alright, so this is kind of like, Blues Light special number 3. But yeah, so yeah, what you'll get from me would be, I don't know if it's gonna be like 4 classes for free, and no more, because my schedule it gets really intense sometimes, and so I just have to. I'm flowing. I so far just want to do this at least once. If it happens again after, cool. If it happens again after, cool. But I don't want to overly commit myself to something. But I would like to do it once. see how that goes and see how that builds, or see how I feel about that. It doesn't matter for me in terms of applying this in my life because I do this in my life. You know what I'm saying? I'm just opening a different space for others to join me. And so it'll be new for me in terms of finding the articulations to articulate processes of things that I do behind the scenes on my own that are beneficial to the maintenance of my energy, which is beneficial to my energy, which hence then activates and makes manifest my reality. And so, because I want and choose to operate healthily, wealthily, stealthily, I'm mindful of my practice, which I'm really not. This is, like I said, ingrained in me. So, the part that's not natural is the sharing. So that's why I'm like, it's for, yeah, I feel called to offer it. No charge. Seriously. Like, it is what it is. I'm not saying it's going to be something that I'm doing forever. It might be 1 or 2 times, 3 times, 4. I don't know. But either way, it'll be like a master class. And loosening the fuck up, one. And learning awesome, like, techniques for you to use and grow upon, or schedule more one-on-one times with me where we can explore the dynamics of your multidimensionality and find everything that's appropriate for you to do, specific, to you, tailored fit to you, because everybody is different. This is going to be general. This is going to be me doing what I would do with me. I'm not finer tuning it, but not the first time to anybody, really. But whomever is there who would want a finer tune gets that. 1, 2, I would assume. And then also gets a lot of beneficial free tools that you have. And I'm just going to highlight for you to use in your ordinary, everyday life. Extraordinary. And I know that when you apply, when you are consistent, there's levels to this shit. It's just like I remember when I was studying yoga in New York College, and during that time I didn't see it, but I saw it after, like when I would look back on like certain pictures and stuff, and that was during, I was so toned, right? I teach yoga now, but I teach children's yoga, and it's not that extensive. Like, it's nothing like when I was in training. And when I was in training for yoga, I was also so like passionate about it that I was going to different yoga studios throughout the city. So I'm naturally a New Yorker, right? From Brooklyn. So I would travel into the city, and then I found this yoga to the people that was by, was it the one in the village? I can't remember which one it was, but I loved this fucking place. And the music selections for the yoga, was it hatha yoga or vinyasa? I don't know what style of yoga. I don't care. I don't teach by style. I teach to children, and I teach lessons and stuff that are prepared and planned through the Children's School of Yoga, and I just put my take on what is already created and stuff by the program, creator, founder. So it's not like I am doing my own yoga thing with the children. You understand? So, but anyways, the style. And so during that time, the discipline, the consistency with that, my body was in the best shape ever, even after having my daughter. And I didn't appreciate it then, right? As much as when I look back now, because even though I am very active, I live a very high performance, like not so, now that I look at people that live high performance, and I even work with people that live high performance, like lifestyles, I really like, a lot of always people tell me that, when they see or they get a taste of my reality in some kind of degree or way, like, wow, like, you do a lot of things in like, just like one day. And then, but I also balance it out with, like, and I'm getting better at it, like, we're making the schedule lean how I really enjoy it, to be. And, creating that for myself, I remember when I used to say that, oh, I wanted to have multiple streams of income, right? And I used to say this to my ex-friends, crew and stuff, or, but I guess, because I didn't have a concrete plan or, this tangible thing, like everybody always like kind of scoffed at or like downplayed even that, like, oh yeah, these kind of things. And when I work for myself, that's not what I used to say. I used to say I just wanna work. I wanna be able to roll over on my bed and cha-ching. Right, like, used to say, okay, so maybe you say things like that, bro. Like, okay, yeah, like, girl, you gotta wake up from, this fantasy, right? But do I? So um it's interesting, right? Like, so just with consistency, right? There's this consistency that is being gifted to the uplifter, whom worked on their shifted, and it's apparent in their gifts at this time, in terms of how you're maneuvering. It's different now. So the consistency, so yeah. So like, you think about that and you think about that. So like, it's the same thing, if you come to the class, right, this free thing, even if it's 1, 2, 3, 4 classes, there's going to be so much valuable mana that you can gather from there and grow from, and if there's one thing that is guaranteed, if there's levelings to this kind of degree, one of the consistent inquiries I receive, or people wanting to be in my energy, right? It's because of our being and managing. So finally, I'm like, okay, fine. And what better way to to um to start than in this. It's what I'm masterful at. And it's a huge contributor to my energy management. This lifestyle. That's what I'm saying. So sharing with you some of my lifestyle habits, right, that have been consistent, that I'm awakening to in these last 10 years or so in my life, that I am now starting to solidify my own acknowledgement of reality. Like, there'd be certain things that I would be like, oh, I'm not this because I don't have a degree in this or a degree in this. And I got a shitload of life experience in this. And, people could be like, oh, but you're not a this or you're not a this. And you play down your system because of what somebody else is saying. You know what I am. Whatever I say I am, if I wasn't, then why would I say I am? Scientist. Stay rooted and grounded, right? So staying rooted and grounded and being very intentional with how we're activating. And you're going to be seeing cycles differently at this time. Because your level of disengage is kind of in its masteries for some. And for others, you're getting there. It takes time. But it's through your actions that fine tune your skill levels. So if you don't put in the work, you're not gonna get the result. I was listening to a video from Alice. One of her videos. She has many. Reminds me of a book, Go Ask Alice. Queen Alice, whatever. But she says something. She's like, some people wish for it. You worked for it. So how dare they come? Oh, sorry. How dare they come at you sideways when you've worked for this? Okay? What's the cost of evolution? Peace. You find it. But it's not after going through the discord. Because it requires you to act in a new way that defies the old way. And until you get through that passageway, you're just in a transitionary way, Until you're activate for elevate, for evolution. But either way, I'm sorry. I got lectures to do. Either way, go check out my Instagram post, right? I explain everything there. Yeah, so if there's one thing that I can help with is especially body care. And each of us I know have different ailments, different abilities, flexibilities, and all this kind of stuff. Nothing to do with that. To listen on that part is the funnest part, or whatever. But all the other little tips and tricks and all the kind of points and stuff that you can do in the breathing exercises. Oh, sorry. Yo tengo sueño. So, yeah, totally cool. So either way, jump on that. If you're down for that, pre-screening for that, trust. Everybody's gonna be in a sacred, safe space without any funny shit. We'll be checking everybody at the door. Like, let me see your ID. Let me see your face. Right. Keeps like, listen, I am the weirdo, okay? It has nothing to do with keeping any weirdos out. I welcome it. What I won't accept is any phony in any shape or form. I even stopped blocking the fake account. I just stopped. Right? It's too much energy wasted on phony. Be phony. Palabra. Okay? Yeah. So, yeah. So, what's that, Marissa? Get some sleep. I love naps. I also have a story that keeps coming into my mind that I feel divinely guided to share. And I'm sure, I don't know if I've mentioned, I don't know, I say things in passing and like brush over lightly. But one of the things that I have been guided to speak about sometimes, you know, it's like my choices and like, you know, celibacy and the questions people have asked about that and what does that mean, you know, things like that. And so one of the things that has been coming up is people want to understand the attitude behind it or what will bring a person to have such a strong standpoint or like, you know, or to be so solidified in your convictions, and especially when there's so much temptation and opportunity around there to be a little reckless, loose, um, lustful, you know? And so I guess the emergence of my strong standpoint, attitude, fierceness in certain departments, of course it comes from somewhere. And so I feel that that's the story that I guess I'm evolving into sharing a little bit as to why not anybody could just slip in between these legs of mine. And you know, and why it's been so strong, you know, and two, like, you know, my position on not wanting to jump from relationship to relationship and going years in between relationships. So that's my acting celibacy for me. Over 20 years, you know, since having intercourse. I've been 20 years on and off, 20 so years on and off. With years in between each encounter. You know, with more than 5 years in between each encounter. So, except that one. That was conscious explorations and experimentations and wanting to experience certain things for myself. And it was a wonderful year. of of evolution for me. Well, we could talk about that another time. But yeah, because I think it's important. Because I be watching stuff and I be seeing like, you know, these younger generations. I'm not here to judge or anything like that, but there's a lot of emphasis on superficiality and body image and, you know, and I say like body dysmorphia. With so many people, you know, not accepting themselves, you know, because of these images that are sewn into a conditioned reality, and you know, and then certain kind of conditionings of gender roles and certain, you know, dynamics to socio-economic brackets. That I'm recording. So yeah, it's interesting. Interesting. Sorry, no, my daughter was calling me and shared with me something very spiritually interesting too. Yeah, I want to start opening up a lot more communication passageways, but again, I will approach every bridge as I approach every bridge. In the meantime, this is what I'm offering. I think it's pretty dope. I think there'll be lots to learn for those that do participate. I'm thankful for those that have expressed already immediate interest, which is dope. So there'll be at least more than 2 people in the room. You know, however it'll be done. But I'm gonna most likely get with it. You know what I mean? Before it just dies out. And stuff like that. So yeah, so back to like, you know, just my leveling of expertise in the field of this is pretty fucking deep, pretty fucking extensive, and really fucking real. And highly advanced and out of this world. Seriously. Yeah, that's what it is. Alright, so that's it. I will eventually timestamp this as I do what I do when I do, and if I don't, I don't, you know. Another blue light special. I'll figure out the title of this eventually. This is like a mellow yellow, kind of blue. I like too. Just dope. Whatever. Pretty cool. Till next time, love and open.